Good morning, everybody. So we're ready for the day here. Looks like we're bidding up already, which is good. It's good to see some follow through. It's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm happy to see it, to say the least. So let's see how this goes. But absolutely, I'm thrilled to see this, and the follow through. It's really what you want. So let's hope it continues, and we'll go from there. But absolutely, it's absolutely what we want to see, and it's exactly what we are seeing. So let's just hope it continues. You're at some key levels. I'll run through that in a moment. Let me just put this link a couple different places, and then we're good to go. Okay, and good, perfect. Okay. Link over here. Put that in the trading room. All right. So let's just get into it. Good morning, everyone. So, hey, Jacob. Hey, Eric. So, thanks, Di. Good luck. I really think that we just have to focus on a couple things here. First and foremost, we're moving higher today. Look at where you're moving from. Okay. So, and let's just click off of all the other nonsense for a moment. Okay. This is where you're opening. This is what you want to see. You really want to see getting over this. Like the fact that we've already had one higher high, we've gotten over it. Getting over the 50-day and getting over 446.14 is really what you want to see. That would be great. It would be absolutely great if that's what we see. So you can see the 8 curling here, and then we can just throw in the 21 very quickly. The 8 and the 21 on the simple moving averages, and I use simple moving averages, are crossing today. That this is what you want to see. So everything's playing out the way that we'd like it. Doesn't mean that you can't pull back. You obviously can, but you just have to watch. So, I mean, you're at exactly, I called it 370, but because you have to get through the 50-day before you get there anyway. But that's what you're facing. And so we have to kind of see how that plays itself out. Now, for me, I kind of like it. I think we can get through there and continue. Now, if you take a look at this, same setup. We're just not there yet. We just haven't crossed yet. So I like this, and I think that this can work. But watch that 370 level, and I just want to go through these levels on all the indexes because it's just important, and then we'll jump into it. So here's where you're at, and this is where you are, right? And the IWM is actually higher than any of the other markets right now. So keep that in mind. It's actually on a percentage basis, it's actually higher. So with that said, just keep that in mind. We are flipping this one level, this one minor wedge. If we close above it, I really want to get above one of these. I really want to get above this wick. So I say 228 just to be safe. But overall, I really like the action that we're seeing. And I can go through some sectors if you want, but let's just jump into some names. Hey, Ken. So VMEL, let's do it. Let's get started. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to just leave the 50-day in for a minute, and then we're going to start adding these in so you can see how it changes the landscape of the picture. I mean, the issue that you're running into here for me is that you've bottomed, and maybe that bottom lasts, right, Ken? So we just don't know yet. So the double bottom's kicked in, and for a double bottom, you need to undercut the previous low, and we've done that. So we've shaken all these people out down here. We just don't know where any of the players are. So one way to figure out where the players are is let's get rid of these because now we know the 50-day is kind of the issue. $35, 34.20. Throw volume by price in. Okay, and what volume by price will do is it'll let you know where the players are, right? Where's supply? So you can kind of see you have a supply issue right here, right? So you're going to have to get through that. So if you get through this level and you can get through 34.30, which is your 50-day, you have a gap in here up to 40, right? Before you even get to this VWAP, because you can see how you have that little gap in here. So I would wait. I would wait until this gets over 34. I'd wait till you get over this indicator, right? See how that? I mean, it's almost going to lie perfectly with these wedges. So I would wait until you get over that, but then I would take a look at it. So NVIDIA ASML, just caveat, I have a position in NVIDIA, both stock and options. Um, just want to get that out there. I like it a lot. I mean, yesterday was the day to buy it. You know, I like the fact that I'm through the 50-day before the Nasdaq's through the 50-day. I like how this is acting. I mean, look at these names. Like everyone that's been breaking out over the 50-day is going, and that's exactly what you want to see. That first day over the 50-day, and they're going. They're not pulling back. You know, someone said this, and it's very true. The best trades work right away, and when you buy something like that and it just starts working, just leave it alone. You know, they're the best trades, and it's inherently true. So anyway, the point being, what do we do now? Well, I think you have to look at the whole space. I love this name. I want to buy this name. I just needed to do a couple things. I would really like to buy it over this, but I don't think we're going to get that first, right? And also, so NVIDIA, to just answer the question, let me just go back to it since I went off from one of my tangents. But in regards to NVIDIA, okay, you could do this, right? Some people may look at it like this. Okay, so you can see where you're at, right? You can see what's going on there. I think I think that it's an outright buy. I mean, I couldn't be any clearer. We bought it in the trading room yesterday. I'm very comfortable with it. I'm very comfortable with the option position I have on. You know, I think it's going to go. I think it's really finally going to go. And I think you were able to buy it on one of these dips like this. I think that's what we just bought. Because if you look at this channel, right? By the time I get up there, I'm at like 240, 250. So I think there's a solid 20% move here. Solid. So I would be all over it. And let's just keep going. MSTR and Microsoft and Maxar. So, you know, MSTR, we all know how that's going to move, right? That's going to move with what? That's going to move with Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up. This is going to go up. He's finally up in his position again. So he's doing okay with it. You know, this is not something where I'm gonna run into this and get involved with. So you know, not at these levels. When you have to buy this when it like pulls back, like when it pulled back to here. Could this go? Sure. But it's not something that I really need to be involved with that I find overly exciting. You know, there's better names in this space, in my opinion, to trade. So if you look at Microsoft, I mean, this is just a beautiful setup. Look at this. Here's your wedge line. Here's your break. Here's your flag. Here's your breakout of your flag. I mean, it's pretty clean. What I would wait for a classic breakout at this point. I mean, you're close enough. Like, why even play games? Just wait for the breakout, right? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. You're just better off. So, if we can wait for that breakout, I think you'll be happier. Then just why play it and then pull back again? And you may have some issues up here. So I would wait. I'd wait on that. And the other one was MAXR. So, and then, yeah, this like Maxar Technologies, I wouldn't go near this. You constantly are making these lower highs. So it's not something I would be jumping into. Morning Oven. SE, what a move that had. So there's so many reasons I keep hearing about this move. You know, I'll just throw this out there. I think it's really important for people to keep their trend lines in. So to me, yeah, was this great? If you caught it, awesome. It's a great move. It's a money move. But now you have this up here and what happened yesterday. Well, let's click off this for a moment. Okay. And you see that wedge line? I mean, I could throw in the indicators and put all the bells and whistles in, but sometimes that kind of convolutes it, right? Because then our eyes don't go to what's really going on. They go to all the little distractions. So sometimes it's just better to just look at the chart itself. And what you're seeing right here is, look, we just rejected there. I have no idea why. Maybe someone was looking at this line like I am, but that's where we rejected. We literally opened right on it and you closed at the low. So what does that mean to me? To me, it means that this might be a short-term short, right? If I break this, okay, all the people that had these gains, they're going to wind up panicking a little bit, right? Because people haven't had those gains for some time. And I could have some selling in here. So this is another example of where you have a base, and it's not the worst idea to throw volume by price in and see, and yeah, you have a shelf in here, so you have some support. So it might not drop. So see how you can use volume by price, get a better understanding. Like if it was wholly like this, I probably wouldn't go, I'd probably say, there's a better chance of selling down. But I'd still watch that lower low. If you break that, you're going to go lower. And I would not be buying into this trend line. I don't like the fact that we stopped here again. It means like the fact that we stopped up here, to me, means that this person didn't go away. They're still up there selling. That's how I view it, right? And you can see they started over here, rallies up, bonk, bonk, bonk. So like what? I don't want to get involved now. If I flip this, I probably want to get involved, but not until then. I hope that answers your question, Zane. Hey, Zorro. Google, we probably just had the opportunity to buy it, right? And here we go. I mean, this is when you buy Google, when it breaks down. It's like the number one time to buy Google is when it gets under the 50-day, right? I mean, that's the time to buy it. It's crazy when you get those opportunities, but just buy it. It's a cash cow, and everybody knows it. So when it's under on these dips, I mean, you couldn't have done it until you had the pandemic, but other than the pandemic, under the 50-day is extremely rare. And when it happens, probably should be a buyer. And I think people are, because it's an absolute, it's an absolute monolith at this point. It's just a beast. Just there's so much cash that comes off. It's just crazy. Spot HD. Spotify, I like a lot. I always like to remind people they have the single largest subscriber base. So, yeah, I mean, this looks like it's ready to rock and roll, right? Let's get rid of these. So, yeah, I mean, I like this. I like the move. I like how you have this too. And I know that's not drawn perfectly, but you get it. Right? So I like that. It's the first time you're seeing that change, right? So you're getting smaller and smaller and smaller with these groups. Now you just have to get through a couple levels. Right? I mean, that's definitely going to be an issue. This will be an issue. So you're not out of the woods, but you're making progress. And I mean, you could just, if you really want to get super technical, just throw this over and you can see. So that would be your first big hurdle. If you want to find one, that's it right here, this line, 253. And then you have some resistance points. So just be careful. I like it though. I like that you're curling over the 50-day. Ever since you broke over the 50-day, you've stayed above it. And, now you're moving. So I like it. EPAM. So you're trying. Is it over the 50-day? It is for a minute. Let's see if it stays over there. See if we stay over there, for now. But despite that, also just look at this. Okay, you have this issue here. That's a real issue. All right. So just consider that. Definitely something that you have to look at and understand is out there. So, so just consider. I mean, I'm not saying not to do it. Just understand your risk. We'll keep running. Was there a news item yesterday? I don't know what's driving it. I think that people like playing these little guys. I really think that. That they like playing them. Do I think that it could keep going? I mean, we had these levels drawn before, and we were trying to play it. Look, there's a big trade going on here, and let's just comment on it for a minute. There's an underlying trade on pullbacks that's going on here. Anything that's breaking above the 50-day, there's a reason I'm just leaving this in today. Anything that's breaking above the 50-day is running. Okay, anything that is breaking above the 50-day is running. And it's running ahead of the NASDAQ, which tells you that's where the relative strength is. That's why I'm doing it. So maybe I should clarify why I'm trying to hammer that point home. So, but this 834 has been a beast, right? We've had an issue with this 834. Bonk, couldn't close over it, gets over it, right? You can see the issue right here. So I would be really cautious here. I would not be jumping into this. Close above 834 and maybe you go. If you get over the 850, you're going to have people that are just going to jump into it because they feel like they're going to miss it. And that could give you a little bit bump up, to like 9.5. Let's call it 940, 945. And that goes all the way back to this little peak here. But that could happen. Sure. And just keep going. Good morning, Lucas. Is Roku ready to run? I hope so. I have a position. So I bought a position in it. I've been sitting with it. I'm not crazy in the action. And again, note how I'm taking one line and determining the relative strength of my positions by it. So I'm not really crazy about what I see going on here. I wanted an emphatic breakout above the 50-day, and I just didn't get it. I got this kind of limp move, like here's the bull flag, and then maybe I'll break, maybe I won't. Right? It's not really exciting. It doesn't really inspire confidence. And I have a position in it, but I'm not like doing cartwheels over it, just to be completely candid. So if it actually takes out that lower low from where I'm in, I'll just get out because I don't want to ride this down if it continues to go. And you have to get through these levels, and you're just not doing it. And you had a really good day in the market yesterday, and this did not participate. So maybe we need more time. AEHR, just FYI, caveat, I have a position. This is one we bought a little cheaper. I think we bought it at 14. Look, it might rest up here. Okay, we've broken this upper trend line. There's nothing wrong with it resting before breaking out and going higher. I think that's what you're dealing with here. I like it. I like it. We're in it. I really don't want to lower the stop more than that because I think that it could really run. And even at this point, then we'd still make 4 points on a $15 stock. So you still have over 30%. I mean, I'll take that any day and just give it a little bit of room to see what it does. And I think it can go, but I think it might need to rest a little bit. It doesn't seem as motivated. NXPI. So you can see this level here, right? I mean, what else? What does this look like, right? So you go here. This name turned first. Same thing, right? So what would you do here? Well, for me, I would just hold off until I get up to here, right? I got to get over this level. Do I really want to buy this here? I mean, why would I buy the names that are not moving in the semiconductor space? Right? That would be my concern. Like, and then we can throw in the 21, which is there's still the cross. You're just got above the 8. So you have a lot of stuff you have to work out. And you have all this, like here, I can just tell by looking at it, but I'll just throw this in. I mean, look at all that resistance. Look at all of that. Do I really want, so you can say it, do I really want to run in there? Probably not. I mean, I stopped right on the volume shelf. I probably don't want to just run right in there. I would probably want to look at a different name than that name in semiconductors, Jin. So I hope that's helpful. Bob, I have calls in Apple. I have calls in NVIDIA. We bought on the pullback on Apple on the earnings. We actually added it to the newsletter, and we actually bought options that day. So I think we're up like $4 in them already. I have to look. NVIDIA, I have a lotto trade on that I bought yesterday, very, very cheap, and it's going to work today, I think. And so what would I do? I don't know that I'd be buying calls here after 2 days up. I'd wait for them to pull back, and I'd be really careful because, as you're aware, like the theta today, like volume's just going to come or they're just going to crunch it, right? So then you have to deal with that issue. Then you have the weekend. So do you really want to carry them over the weekend? I don't know. Maybe if they pull back, yes. If they don't pull back, no. Hey, Di. CLSK. CLSK. Did my dyslexia kick in? Yes, it did. CleanSpark. So this is the company that does something with Bitcoin mining. And the Bitcoin miners do what exactly? Right? What do the Bitcoin miners actually do? So they mine Bitcoin. They keep the Bitcoin. Some sell the Bitcoin. Okay, so we understand that it's Bitcoin related, right? If I'm wrong, then that's not what it is. And then they're doing it with green energy, or pretending to do it with green energy, or are doing it with green energy. Okay, so 1630 is what you have to watch. Look, as goes Bitcoin, as goes this stock. I'd be really careful about buying things that are in a major downtrend for the past year. Okay, and thinking that this time it's really going to go. I'm not saying that you're not going to get a push to a level like 2021, but I'd be really careful here. This would be a trade. I mean, everything's curling up and it looks great, but I think there's better names in this space. But the trade can work. It's just not something I'm crazy about. Good morning, Jay. I seen him 5. So let's get rid of this text. So we had the nice run up, right, on Five Below. The issue with Five Below and what you're running into is that the inflation seems to be killing them, which is what happened here, right? Earnings. So the inflation seems to be killing them, where you thought that it would actually benefit them. It's not. I'd be really careful. Okay, if you came in like this on the last earnings call, what's this one going to be like in December? So if you're just looking for a trade, I mean, maybe you could say that that's your trend line. Maybe you could say over that wick where you just happened to stop yesterday. So, I mean, this would be a level if you really want to be in it, is 188.78. If you got through that, maybe you could get back up to here. But you still have this issue right here, right? 197, and there's your evening star position. So just keep it in mind. If everyone could do me a favor and just like this so I can get in front of more people, I would appreciate it. I like educating. UNG, URNM, So we're all over the uranium trade. So let's just start looking at these. URG. So you went right to this level and you rejected, right? So that's or UNG. I'd be really careful with these names. That's the wrong one. UNG. So yeah, I mean, natural gas. Okay. I got uranium on the mind. I'd be really careful here because they had a huge, huge run up, right? I mean, you just had an enormous run up in pricing, and everybody's aware of that. And what you have to worry about with positions like this is when you start seeing these huge long bars, that's usually the end of a run, not the beginning of a run. So what you have to look for is, see that break? Then it goes. See how small these bars are? See how long these bars are? So that's usually at the end of a run. So I'd be a little concerned there. It's not something I'd be buying. And we're all waiting for like the apocalyptic winter, right? We all know how that goes. When everybody has like the same area and we all think the same way, how often does that work? URNM and NIB. These are names I'm not familiar with. URNM. North Shore Uranium Gold Mining. I wouldn't go near this. And the one that I think I look at the most, I'm trying to think, I think it's URA. I look at this one the most. And the reason is, I mean, you're looking at it's the same exact trade, but I think this one has more liquidity. But you see how you're fighting this level? Well, that's probably because of the price of uranium, right? But they're all pegging to these levels. So I would just, I'd watch them. I would not be buying them here, and NIB, the Bloomberg iPath sub index total return. I have no idea what this is. Coca. Um, yeah, I mean, this is not something I would buy just because, look at where you're at. Look, if we put the indicators in and get rid of it, I mean, you just broke the 50-day, right? Now you have a wedge line here. You had a wedge line here, and maybe you respect it and bounce. I don't know. Maybe you hold that. If you can hold that and flip back over the 50-day, this is probably where you buy it, right? Because if you could flip back over the 50-day, see how you are here? And when it flips that, it seems to go. So you could bounce here if you flip back over the 50-day and then get up, which is what we're looking at trying to do. So SSYS. Hey, Terry. So, yeah, I mean, that looks good. I like that a lot. What's the volume like? Yeah, you need more volume. You definitely need more volume than that. So that's not something I'd be rushing into just because of the volume, but you can go. You could still go here. Hold on. See that level? You got to watch that level. Thanks, Anna. Appreciate it. MRO Open. Well, Open, just FYI, is in the newsletter, and I have a position. I think Open's going to $28 pretty quickly. It's just my opinion. I think we're just going to keep grinding. It's not one of those that's going to to me, I'm not going to see an explosive move through it, but just look at, I mean, it's really perfect. I mean, in every way, like just the way we're turning, the way the breakouts are over above average volume, the way this line is curling up. So like everything's just perfect about the trade for now. Now, how we do going into earnings, I have no idea, but I think before earnings, I'm at 28 at least, and then I can make more a decision on what I want to do there and kind of figure it out. So kind of go from there. But overall, I like it a lot. MRO, I mean, look, the energy names, you just got to be really careful because when they pull back, they're going to pull back and they're going to pull back hard. So I don't know when that happens, but the real money on these trades to me was already made. And was made back here when you broke out of this base, right? And then went. So you're really kind of playing catch up right now. It's not something I would do. When this can come in, you can see how it can come in. It's not really where I want to buy it. I want it to keep going, but we'll see. Yep. Thanks, Ro. Please like the video. Net. So I think you're getting a little tired here. Yesterday, let's see how it plays out, but I think you're getting a little tired here. I can't remember the last time it was this high off its 8-day moving average. Not that that's a reason for it to sell down, but see how you have this bar and it's really long, and then they start getting shorter. They start getting tired. Like here, it got shorter, but you had a base, and then you broke through the base. So then you go, and then you have a longer one the next day, right? And now you have a shorter one, and now we have a little wick. So, I mean, could it go again? Sure. But to me, it's looking a little tired. Like it might want to just come down and retest and build and, pull back and give us an opportunity to buy it. And I would just be looking at trades at this point in that name. I wouldn't just be outright buying it at this point. I want to be looking at the trades more than anything. So, you're up too high off this break for me in this kind of market. I mean, if we were in a runaway bull market, yeah, that's a little different, but we're just not. I'm still staying away from Amazon. I have no interest. And Christmas could be a disaster for them based upon supply chain issues. So I think it's something like $1 trillion worth of goods is tied up in supply chain issues globally. I mean, who else could that possibly hurt more than Amazon? So I think that there's an underlying issue there. But with that said, look, you see this level? See how you're running into that 200-day moving average? Like I just don't get it. I don't see the appeal. And Christmas should be good. And if their Christmas is not good because of supply issues, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a real big problem for them. So let's just keep going here. Clean energy Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm just going through all the names and seeing if I get like a vibe here. Okay, good. Mara. Trying to see how many people are asking about the same name. I like this. I think this could really go. So, I mean, you want to watch that 45 level. You know, some people could say 45.20. But out of all these names, I like this one. You know, it has institutional sponsorship. They're buying it. For whatever reason, institutions are buying this name. And I don't know why. And it doesn't really matter. But this is the one that they've chosen that they feel most comfortable with. And you can see, you know, we were talking about this yesterday, the difference, right? And performance. So I like this name, and it seems to be working. So over at this level, if you open here, I would definitely take a look at it. With Bitcoin rising, I mean, you can see these levels. It's just that you're playing the Bitcoin move, right? And I'm not sure that I want to do that, you know, at this level. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. But, you know, it can still go, yes. Adobe. Hi, Laura. Yeah, I mean, you could get to 628 here, right? But that's going to be the real test. That line, see that trend line? And then you have to watch there. So, but I mean, it looks okay. It's not like something I feel like I need to be in. Coin. I mean, there's your level, 272. You know, I don't really see this going anywhere. I mean, I think this was one of the worst IPOs of the year. I mean, it was just a disaster. I mean, the company made money and the insiders made money, but retail got slaughtered with it. You're starting to see more action in it. You know, they have some real issues. And I don't know how those issues are going to play out, but technically, you know, until I get above this level and can stay above it for a period of time, I don't really have any issue or any interest, rather. I just don't. You know, there's too many other companies that are competing with them now. So I just don't see it. And the valuation is absolutely insane. But usually is with you know, startup companies. Some make it, some don't. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to start seeing that all around. I would just be, you know, really, really careful with DATs. It was clear, you know, we traded it and wound up getting stopped out of it. Or, you know, it ran up. If people sold into it, they made some money, but just clear rejection and clear pump and dump. I mean, it couldn't have been any clearer. And even yesterday, I feel the same way about it. Like, you know, it was pretty clear to me that somebody was trying to get it up, right? Just so they could dump stock again. I mean, you pump it up and then they just keep it at a level where they can constantly sell. And that's all they did. You never closed above that initial, you know, move ever. So that just means to me somebody triggered it so that they could pump it and then they can just sell right into it. I mean, that's exactly what you're looking at. So I would not even look at it until I got above this level. And then it's a trade at best at this point. SQ and Snow. So let's get to this. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the hurry here. You're having issues all throughout here, and you can't get above the 50-day. So I'd hold off. Snow. Just caveat: I have a position in this. You know, I scoured looking for positions that I scoured looking for positions that needed to break out and were in the software space. And this one came to mind, and I'll pull this one down here for a moment, and I'll just click on this. So we're bidding up again today, and we're still above this level. You have to stay above that level. But I think it can go. I just think that we might take a little time, because yesterday we just felt the software towards the end of the day started to feel kind of heavy. Now, whether or not it was or it wasn't, maybe it's on me, but that's just how I felt. Oh, that's good. Yeah, maybe that's why it moved. Thanks, Nat. Hey, boss. Glue, Globe, and USPT. So this is trying to turn. I mean, it's not really something that I'm crazy about. You did get above this wick right here, right? So if you can get above that, stay above that, that's what you want to see. And then maybe that gives you a shot to here. That is possible. But you just have to see, right? You have to see how that plays out. GLBE UPST. You can't go near this. This is it's still a disaster. UPST, I mean, I've been pulling money out of it left and right. The issue becomes, like, I was looking at this the other day. I just keep breaking these levels. I mean, this is the next one. You're in the 4s. Can it do it? Sure. It absolutely can. Do I think it's going to? I don't know. I do know that names like this will have big pullbacks. And when they have those pullbacks, it makes sense to take advantage of those pullbacks and buy it. But to buy these breakouts, you need to be looking really short term and pulling money out, getting in and up, and then moving your stop up to break even as soon as you possibly can, based upon your risk tolerance. Because at these levels, and I can get rid of all this, but at these levels, you're really getting up there. Let's get rid of everything. And let's just look at the chart. I mean, yeah, look here, perfect sense. Beautiful breakout. We bought this, right? We bought it again here. So, and we've done very well trading it, but yesterday's move was awesome. And you broke right from here. I mean, this was it. It was a classic breakout, right? That's why you always, even though I try not to buy the first breakout, sometimes you have to. And there's your breakout. And breaking above that, the high was the open, and it never got below that after that was formed. So, you really have to think like that and go, okay, well, what is that telling me? Well, it's telling you, where your area is, and you held that and then you ran. Could you push again today? You can. You absolutely could push again today. And this is definitely something where I would be in and out looking for positions on pullbacks, but they're day trades to me. I mean, that's really what you're looking at this point. They're just day trades. I mean, it's hard to say to buy that and stay with it. Yeah, I covered DATS. I'll cover EXPI. So EXPI I was looking at. And, for me looking at it, and you go here and take a look. For me looking at EXPI, you're breaking out here. You have this other one here now. So, I mean, look, the issue is that you clearly have a seller up here. See these long red nasty bars, right? This is where we got caught on it. And, I lost money on this trade right here. So on the reversal, it just did not work. And I held a portion of it to the end of the day, and I got hit. I mean, it happens to everybody. So, just FYI, if you ever took a loss, so have I. I think that you have to watch this. And these bars are telling you that somebody's out here willing to dump every time it gets to there. So I would be more interested in it over this. Now, you might not want to wait for that, but I'm not really interested in 2 points, by the time slippage, 2.5 I'll wait for the breakout and then I'll look at it. Now, if you fill in the indicators, Voss, they're not really telling you anything great. You're not over a higher high. And I know people are getting excited about this one, but it's not something that, that I'm really overly excited about, to say the least. You're welcome, Bob. Anytime. I'm like super behind. I'm going to jump to the front of the line. I've only got like a minute left here. Hey, D. So EEENF. If I missed your symbol, throw it in real quick. No, don't even waste your time. So PLTR. Hi, Anita. So you got to watch this level. Like, this was just a nasty breakdown over that, right? We thought they're getting the contract. They were up for the contract. Now they're in the finals for the contract, but maybe there's nobody else bidding on it. So you have all these people that just got, whammied. And you jump through this line, which was good, but you got to watch that 25 3/4. Do I think you can hold here? I do. If it breaks at 23, I'd get out, but I'm not buying this until I'm up and over the 25 3/4 again. Then I'll look at it, Anita. Yeah, please do. Please like this video and please subscribe to this channel and comment. I'm trying to get in front of as many people as possible, show them what it takes to be successful. Pins. You're kind of dead here, and I really like this name. I mean, I really like the company. They're non-biased. There's no real censorship in there. They offer all kinds of really cool sites that are in there. I mean, I find a lot of really cool stuff on Pinterest. But look at that area, right? It's just not working, right? Like, look at all this. It's just not working. So I'd be really careful there. You're welcome, D. Just avoid it. But just avoid it. Look at, I mean, I hate to say this, and I hate to say it like that. Just look at real companies. So Snap for Lotto today. Yeah, there's a shot of that. I don't usually call out lottos. I did one yesterday for the trading community. I think we might do okay with that one today, but I rarely do lottos. Can that lotto today? Absolutely. There's no question about it. This is how you would play that lotto, right? So just get me above that wick. Okay. So if you got above the 77.40, right? Just by the 80s. Maybe they work, maybe they don't, but that's how I would do it. Just get above that wick and then you put it on and they either go to either a hero or a zero. And Planter, NNDM, and hey, comrade, Grub. Yeah, it did. It got it the other day. It got it the other day, and it moved on that news already. Look, I thought it was going to go. I like it. I mean, I've actually downloaded the app and played with it. I like the app, but it's clear that the stock's being manipulated. Grub. Let's do Grub real quick, and then I got to jump here. Yeah, I mean, it's just not working, right? I mean, it's just not working. So it's not something I would go near. I do want to do plug, and I will do GDLC, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So, because I did start like a minute or two late. I'm going to start trying to do these exactly at 8:30, so everyone will know exactly when to tune in. I think that might be better. I kept trying 8:15, but there's too much moving in the market for me to do this properly at that time. I'm starting to realize that, I'm learning just like you. I'd be really, really careful here, really careful. And I showed it this way yesterday. So this is a bearish engulfing at the top of some pretty key levels, right? You rejected here, huge volume, and right at this wick, right? We broke it again. Like, come on. So no, I'm a little cautious on this right now. I actually would short it if it breaks the 81 level. I'd probably get out of it. And so GDLC. Thanks, Di. Yeah, I mean, you have to look at the underlying currencies, right? Bitcoin's moving, Ethereum's moving. Maybe it's Cardano that's holding it back. I have positions in some of these cryptos, but I don't look at them every day. I don't look at it like that right now. I would be careful here. I would be careful. It seems to be we seem to be missing everything. All right, everyone. I have to jump. Everyone have a great day. I'm going to just hop off here. Let's all get paid. Have a good weekend.